Check. Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Yes.
You can hear me?
Yes.
Keep talking.
I can hear you. Doing pretty good.
Okay.
Friday afternoon at the vet.
We are Friday afternoon.
Friday afternoon at the vet. Can't beat that.
My wife wanted to know what VAT we tell her. I'm like, it's
We'll figure that out.
Val
Yeah.
something or
1
other.
2 1 2.
Aquatics and tennis.
Yeah. Afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the ECC Game of the Week. We are live from the VAT. Y'all know what the VAT means, right? I had no idea until I figured it out. Like I wasn't even like Captain Obvious. You thought it would be something you'd know, but
No, it's some name. Valenti, Vitelli, aquatics, and tennis.
yeah, I had no idea. I mean, when I first got here, I'm like, the VAT, what is that? Are we going to jump in and make wine? I wasn't sure.
I would love that. If you can see the tennis courts over in the background beyond the sunshade or some sort of fence back there.
Yeah.
No, it's a nice facility up here in Ledyard Center, so it's a,
Yep.
it's a good addition to the town, and certainly going to be a great addition to these girls today.
It's the only outdoor meat facility anywhere in the area, and they only run meets here till the end of September when it starts to get a little cool outside.
Yeah. So the name of the facility is the Vitelli Aquatic and Tennis Facility.
There we go.
So that is the VAT. And I had no idea what it meant. And I've never been here before. I didn't even know it was here. So when the ECC said, let's go ahead and let's do a swim meet for the first game of the week, I'm like, where is it? And I don't live far from here.
No,
But no. So when you get tucked in a little bit, and you come up to the Ledyard Four Corners, you have no idea unless you're looking for it. And it's a nice facility.
beautiful facility. If you don't see it on your GPS, though, you missed the turn.
Exactly. And that's what happened the first time I came here and met with Ann Vitale, the owner of the facility. And she was very nice. She was very, very nice. So,
Wonderful lady.
huh?
Wonderful lady and a great family. Wonderful lady and a great family.
So just to kind of put things into perspective, at SNSN, we've never done a swim meet. It's never happened. We never thought about it. Not that we wouldn't have done it or wouldn't have liked it or anything. And when the ECC came up to me and said, well, the very, very first one we're going to do is going to be a swim meet, and that's going to be at the VAT, and it's going to be Fitch versus Ledyard, and both schools are co-ops. So now you are
Scott Black.
Scott. Tell us a little bit about you.
So I've been involved in swimming since my kids were quite little. I think my son, who's now 33, started swimming when he was 6. So I spent about an hour on one swim deck once and decided I needed to become an official, and I've been one for close to 30 years. So I also do swim announcing. So
Apparently, yeah. What do you mean swim announcing? You mean like
So for the conference championships, for some state championships, they have announcers, and we like to hype the crowd up, introduce the swimmers, and
Gotcha.
talk a little bit about the sport.
Sometimes the swim meets can get a little slow, and so Scott does a great job of keeping things moving and keeping the audience engaged and keeping the swimmers engaged. So when I was coaching the high school teams in Waterford, Scott was known as the voice of ECC swimming and diving.
So I'm very, very lucky to have you here, to help us navigate through this event, which, like I said, I have no idea. And you are, sir?
My name is Brett Arnold,
Mhm.
and I am a former swim coach down at Waterford High School.
And you were there quite a number of years, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I was. I coached high school girls swimming for 25 years.
Oh, wow.
At Waterford High School for 23, and then at 22, and then at Seymour High School at the other end of the state for 3 years. So 25 years coaching high school girls state Connecticut swimming, and I've also been a member of the CIAC Girls Swim Committee for over 15 years and a Class S meet director.
So we're gonna go ahead and, well, first of all, thank you guys for coming, because I probably couldn't be surrounded by two more knowledgeable gentlemen or people that are involved in this sport that we've never covered before. So thank you very much for being here. The meet starts at 3:30. We're gonna do a little bit different stuff that most streamers do. So one of the things we're gonna do is we're gonna have an ECC trivia question, and we're gonna have anybody that is listening or watching, whether it's on their device or their phone or their smart TV or whatever it is, you can actually go on X and you can tweet it to @SNSN Sports or @GoECC Athletics, either one, and you can get the answer. And then we have prizes, of course, for everybody. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in a second, and we are going to talk to the Fitch head coach in just a couple of minutes. Keep it right here. It is the ECC Game of the Week, and you are watching it and listening right here on SNSN. All right, so we are back here at the VAT in Ledyard, Connecticut. Thanks for joining us. If you are just joining us, let's see there we go. We are going to be having a swim meet today. It'll be Fitch versus Ledyard, and both schools are co-op, right?
Yes, they are. They're both co-op schools, yes.
And we have the head coach of the Fitch Falcons. How are you doing, Allie? Good to see you today.
I'm doing
Nice
very
to
well.
meet you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So, give us a little bit about how long have you been coaching with Fitch?
This is my 4th year at Fitch.
Okay, and you have other schools with you as well. So, explain what a co-op is for those that don't know.
Yes. So a co-op is a cooperative of schools. So in our case, Fitch is the host school, and it makes an opportunity for students from schools that may not be able to field a full team. They happen in all sports. In our case, Fitch is our host, and we are joined by Stonington, New London, and Wheeler. And then we are swimming against Ledyard, and they are co-opted with St. Bernard.
Gotcha. So there's quite a few girls here. Now I've never been to a swim meet, to be honest with you. So
They're awesome.
I'm in for something new, Mike.
Yeah. So I'm sure he has a question for you.
Okay.
Being a coach to coach.
Yeah, sure, Coach. Hey, listen, thanks for this opportunity to be up here with you today. And I'm just kind of looking out there over the pool, and I see a lot of girls here from this Fitch co-op team. And I'm curious to know how's the first couple of weeks of the season been going with the training?
It's been going well. CIAC rules changed, and we started earlier than usual this year. So we've had a couple extra practices coming into our first meet, which was awesome. One of our challenges is that because we have different schools, the first day of school starts at different times. So some kids were still on summer vacation and we're expecting them to come, but we have had a phenomenal showing so far in terms of our sportsmanship and the dedication that they've put into practice. We've seen a lot of leadership. We have 9 in our senior class, and we've really been able to rely on them.
That's a great number for seniors.
It's wonderful.
It's a great number.
Yeah, they've led us well. And for me, it's exciting because they were my first freshman class, my first
Even
year.
better.
Yeah, so to see them all the way through, they have a lot, but there's a lot of talent in that class as well.
Oh, that's great to hear. That's great to hear. As I look over and I see you getting ready, it's getting ready for sprints, and we're getting ready for the start of the swim meet here today. Anybody out? I know not to single anybody out, but to single everybody out. I know you have some very accomplished swimmers from last season returning this year. How are they doing in the training this season?
They're doing very well. Our prospectus just came out in the newspaper today and shouted out one of our seniors, Anna Orphanides, who was the ECC all swimmer of the meet and the day's selected all swimmer of the meet, as well as an all-state swimmer. She's right over there finishing in lane 4 right now. Another senior, Jalen Wheeler from Stonington, will be absolutely standout for us this year. We've split a lot of our relays for today so that everyone kind of gets a chance to shine. So we may not see a super fast relay, but coming later into the season, we swim Guilford next week. Will be incredible competition for us. So we're excited.
How many teams in the conference that you guys go up against?
So in the ECC for swimming, there's only 5.
Okay.
We swim every team in the ECC twice. So today here we have Fitch and then Ledyard St. Bernard, and then we'll also see East Lyme, NFA, and Waterford. And so then we rely to get a little bit more competition on some out-of-conference meets.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and I think the ECC athletic directors have done a really good job trying to fill the schedule with some of these meets, because unfortunately in Eastern Connecticut, that swimming for boys and girls, we see those numbers seem to be down. So kind of expanding some areas where we go swim, which is sometimes a good thing because you see some different competition, sometimes some better competition. These teams that are cranking out the state meet and placing very high.
Yeah, we like to rely on an Olympic year like this to put the fire back into the excitement of other kids learning how to swim and making a competitive sport.
You know how much I know about this? When we came here to kind of camp out, the idea, how we're going to do this, and Ken was here, our cameraman, and Ann Vitale was here, and I said, so that's where they're going to jump off. She goes, no, that's where they dive off of. And I'm like,
it's called a starting block. Okay. At the other end, you'll see what's called a flip turn, which is where they do the fast somersault, or an open turn, which is required in breaststroke and butterfly.
Yeah, so no penalties, right? No one's going to get called for clipping or pass interference or anything like that.
Not on your end, no. I mean, the swimmers are not allowed to flip each other.
Scott Black gets over here. I don't know. So
Scott is our longtime ECC championship meet announcer, and he announces well. So you couldn't have picked anyone better for the job.
Believe me, they fell in my lap from, from talking to some people, and like I was telling them before you even came over. Very, very lucky to have these two gentlemen here. Allie, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good luck to you today.
Thank you. We're so excited.
And
good luck during the meet.
Thanks, Brett.
And we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to talk to the head coach from Ledyard in just a couple of minutes as she walks by, trying to run out of here. But we'll be back and talk to Katie from Ledyard right here on SNSN.
Why are we getting killed like this?
Kyle's not here. Got caught drinking beer in the park a couple of nights ago.
Really?
Yeah. 0 tolerance. He's out for the season.
Harsh.
Hey, he knew not to drink. We've made that clear to all of our kids, right?
No, not really.
Bill, if we don't tell them what we expect and why they shouldn't drink, how are they going to know?
Talk. They hear you. For more information, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Has arrived. They're your local auto super center. Put some excitement in your day and rent a Polaris Slingshot from Strain Family Motors, adjacent to the Green Onion Restaurant on River Road. Check out Strain Family Motors Super Center on Facebook as well as strainfamilymotors.com for everything sales, service, and excitement. River Road, Lisbon, Strain Family Motors, your local auto super center.
And welcome back to the VAT. I got to learn how to say that correctly. Here in Ledyard, Connecticut, we are just about getting ready to start our swim meet today, which is the ECC Game of the Week, right here on SNSN. And it's going to feature the Fitch Falcons, their co-op, as well as Ledyard High School. And we're going to be talking to Coach Katie now. How are you?
I'm well. How are you today?
Thank you. Thanks for coming. Do you swim?
Oh, well, I did at one point in my life.
I don't swim. I got kicked out of the pool one time for doing a cannonball. That was it. I didn't even get a perfect 10. So anyway, this gentleman right here, the voice of the ECC when it comes to swim. So you know this gentleman, do you not?
Yes, I do.
Katie and I have known each other. Our daughters swam together many, many, many years ago. Let's not talk about how many. But Katie, why don't you tell us a little bit about your team? You got some leaders. I know you got some swimmers back from the championship meets of last year. And tell us a little bit about your co-op.
Well, we're thrilled to be co-oping for our second year with St. Bernard. And they definitely bring a lot of talent to the team. We have 6 seniors this year. Some swimming all 4 years, others, one senior it's their first year. So it's a variety of variety of experience level, as well as a variety of skill levels on this year. But we're very excited to be able to have a full roster. Our numbers were low the last few years, and we're up to swimmers this year, so we're excited about that.
That's great. It's good to see the team growing in size. What events are you targeting this afternoon? What do you think you can do well in?
I think we'll have some pretty good swims in most events. It's kind of a shakeout, kind of get the willies out first meet. I believe that full first half of the meet, 2 free, 2 IM, 50 free, fly, 100 free, and the 500, the breaststroke. I think they're all going to be very strong events.
That's
and
great.
Great competition.
Tell us about your team leaders. Who are you counting on this year to pull a lot of weight and to lead the teammates?
Well, our senior leaders this year, Thelma Grogan and Sadie Hero, both very experienced swimmers and will be on the A relays. They both have very good work ethic and are leaders in the pool, as well as not afraid leaders out of the pool. That good example, and kind of tell the girls what to do when they need that.
That's good. One other direction we'll take. Maybe people are noticing that we're outdoors. It's a little cloudy today, but
there's no rain. There's no rain in the forecast.
There's no rain in the forecast, not till at least tomorrow. This is your home pool, right,
yes.
Katie? So tell us about the pool and how it works and your home meets here in October.
Well, we schedule our home meets the front end of the season. So when the weather starts getting a little cooler, we go away. So we go
where do you go?
We go to other people's pools for our meets.
All right.
No, we practice here all season. As the temperature gets cooler, there is a plastic cover that goes over the pool to keep the heat in. And the temperatures start really getting cold, then there's a bubble that goes over the pool to.
So you still can outdoor swim. You still. Oh, okay.
Yes, yeah, we swim here all season long. But it's
really right through November.
Yeah. Yes. And it's glorious to come out here for a swim meet outside.
It's lovely in September.
It is.
I bet.
I work a lot of meets here in September. It's a beautiful place. This is as cloudy as I've seen it at a meet.
Yes.
So we usually really do well here in the September time frame.
Yeah.
And if it rains during practice, well, the coaches get wet.
Yeah, it's kind of like they're already in the water. Does it matter?
Exactly.
Unless it's thundering and lightning, then that's when they have to get out, right?
Exactly. But it's kind of funny when they say it's going to rain. Do we have practice? I'm like,
well,
yes, you will.
Of course you do.
You know, when he pulls, he stay dry in. I don't know.
Coaches will bring a raincoat, maybe.
Let's see if we can get Ken over here. Let's see if we can get Ken over here to kind of pan out and take a look at all the teams, all the girls that are here that are getting ready to take part in the meet today. Do you have any other questions for Coach Katie?
No, Katie, good luck today.
Thank you.
I hope the girls do well. I hope they have a good time. I hope the officials are quiet. They keep their arms down and everybody has good swims.
Well, thank you.
All right, Coach Katie, thank you very much. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
And
Thanks,
hopefully we'll get a word with you after the meet for a couple of minutes. We're also going to pick an ECC player of the game, too, as well. So we'll be watching that from both sides. So
Wonderful.
All righty. Thank you very much. Scott, good job.
Thank you.
You're amazing. You are the voice.
I am the voice of
I'm
ECC.
out. All right, we're going to be back in a couple of minutes. We'll talk some more in just a minute right here on SNSN.
Better it burns. Much better. So much better it burns. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better it burns. You buy better it burns. You buy better.
School's back in session and it's time for a pop quiz. True or false? Insurance coverage is all the same and it doesn't matter where you buy it. False. True or false? The best kind of insurance is the cheapest you can find. False. True or false? Working with a local agent can help you navigate all your specific coverage needs while finding a competitive price for free. True. Don't let yourself fail when it comes to your insurance. Call, email, chat us online today. Our qualified staff can walk you through the process, find the coverage that's right for you, and the discounts you qualify for. The Burns Agency, proudly serving Eastern Connecticut since 1932.
Better it burns. Much better. So much better it burns. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better it burns. You buy better it burns. You buy better.
All right, we are back here at the VAT here on SNSN. We're getting ready for the game of the week, which is going to start in about 7 or 8 minutes or so. And we're going to get multi-camera views for y'all. As you can see, we have different vantage points that you can go ahead and we'll check things out. I want to make sure that you do get our Twitter or our X as they call it. It is at SNSN Sports, at SNSN Sports. We are going to go ahead and do an ECC trivia question or a trivia question of the game, because we want you to participate. We want you to comment in. We want you guys to, and ladies, to take part in this event. This is it's all about the kids, obviously, and I'm so happy that we're able to go ahead and showcase different athletes that we've never been able to do before. And to be honest with you, in 9 years of doing this, I'll be honest with you, Scott, I've never thought of doing a swim meet. So thank you to the ECC for saying, hey, let's do a swim meet.
We're really pleased out here in the little southeast corner of Connecticut. We've got some nice swim programs. They're not often state champions, but they have been state champions before. We often get a lot of swimmers out of the conference, though, that are state champions in their own individual right. And we have a number of All-Americans that have come out of this swimming. There's probably 8 or 9 banners in the Fitch Auditorium or Fitch Natatorium over at Avery Point, where Fitch does their home meets. And there are also All-Americans from the Ledyard program. So we've had a lot of good swims.
Waterford and East Lyme too.
Waterford and East Lyme as well.
Yeah, individually, coming through and shining. Yeah, sure.
So give us an idea what we're going to see like right at the beginning.
All right. Well, what's going to happen first is there's going to be a relay. And the relays are always a really exciting part of the swim meet. One, because they get a lot of the athletes involved, but also because of the points that are available. Some of your upcoming relays could really determine how meets are going to be finishing out and scoring. The scoring is going to be 8 points for first place, 4 points for second place, and 2 points for third place. Fourth, fifth, and sixth do not receive any points. So there's a lot of points that can be gained and added to your totals. And again, there are going to be 3 relays. First one that we're going to be coming up here is going to be the 200-meter medley relay, a 200-yard medley relay. So I must have been the old Waterford there. It's going to be the 200-yard medley relay with each swimmer. There'll be 4 swimmers. The first one will be swimming 2 lengths of the pool backstroke.
So it's a 25-yard pool. Is that what you're saying?
Yes,
Okay.
it's a 25-yard pool. And so the first swimmer will swim 50 yards of backstroke, followed by the second swimmer swimming 50 yards of breaststroke, followed by a butterfly, and then bringing it home is the freestyle, the anchor of the relay.
Okay.
So you'll notice this pool is a lot smaller than those Olympic pools. They're called long course. They're 50 meters long. This pool is a little less than half that long, and only 6 lanes. But typically high school meets are conducted in this type of pool. Brett mentioned meters. The Waterford High School pool is a 6 lane, 25-meter pool. So if you go in the Waterford pool, you see the records on the wall. They're different than in the yard pools.
Gotcha. So how do these 2 teams match up? How do they, how does the Fitch co-op match up against the Ledyard co-op?
So historically, Fitch is going to be a stronger program in the conference than Ledyard has been. Looking at the numbers, the Fitch co-op is 4 high schools and does have looks like a significantly larger team. At some number, 18 or 19 swimmers, you can't fill up all of the lanes for all of the events, so that it does impact the scoring. That may well impact us here today. The co-ops can have no more than 14 swimmers from a single high school. So each of these schools is represented by no more than 14 student athletes.
Brett, you want to caveat off of that?
Yeah, one of the things as a former coach when I look at these teams, and certainly Scott's correct there about the Fitch co-op. But I think one of the things that looks nice about this Ledyard team is the numbers are up. Sometimes when you get going, you're going to battle. Some teams are going to battle speed, some teams are going to battle numbers. And I think one of the things that the Ledyard team over the past handful of years was numbers, and to see him co-op with the St. Bernard team to bring the numbers. I think Coach said it was up to about 18, 19 swimmers. That's spectacular because you need them. You can fill your lanes. You might not win every race, but you're building, you're doing things right. And with that number, I think that you look at success in different areas. And I think that's one area for the Ledyard co-op that's going to be a success for them, is looking at, hey, listen, we're building the numbers. We got the interest. You have this wonderful facility here at the vet. Let's really try to drive that and take advantage of it. And I think Coach Kokomore is really trying to do that here.
The fact that she's got a first-year senior just speaks volumes to me. The fact that she's able to go into the school and recruit a new swimmer who's a senior, maybe with no experience at all, it just really speaks to the growth of the team and that's the success Katie's had in bringing more girls out to the sport.
I think so, and Coach has been around for a long time, and she certainly knows her way around the schools and the pools. But I also think that we always see an influx of swimmers on these Olympic years. A lot of kids getting out there, seeing it on the TV, watching it on the Olympics, and seeing what these athletes can do. And I'd be remiss that if I didn't say, the Paralympics going on, and I watch some of the Paralympic swimmers, and that inspires me just tremendously. You get emotional watching them swimming. Swimming is such a pure, enjoyable sport. To see everybody getting into it, I think is a step in the right direction.
I think not just swimming, but what you had said about a first-year senior. I see that really in many different sports, lacrosse being one, where that is growing exponentially. With a lot, especially on the boys end, and there are first-year players that are seniors. And field hockey is the same way. And these are sports that haven't really received the attention, especially who's given other than the Olympics. Where do you see swimming? You don't.
Yeah. No, I think that you're right. I think for whatever reason that may be, whether it's because the athletes, you only see half of them in luck, half of it's underwater, as opposed to some of the athletes running on the track going 9.6, 9.7, or whatever it might be for the hundreds. But I think that has something to do with it. And I think there are other variables to it. So it's getting out there and seeing these numbers here being built, whether the Olympics helping out and seeing that and building those, I think are good.
Yeah, and I see the other sports growing, and one sport that I do see in the decline just a little bit is baseball. As far as participation and stuff like that. Scott, what do you think? I mean, as far as other sports that are getting some more attention, that are getting some traction.
Well, we are seeing a lot of sports gain traction that no one ever paid any attention to. Things like volleyball, as you said, baseball's a little bit in decline.
Yep.
At one point, swimming was a really big sport. It had tailed off. COVID was hard on all the sports because a lot of kids lost they lost a whole season. But it's encouraging, particularly here in southeastern Connecticut, to see so many different sports like field hockey, like soccer, the non-baseball, basketball, football, to see opportunities for a lot of other student athletes to participate and for their schools to cheer on. We got a decent crowd. Looks like some both students and parents lining the pool deck. So that's a positive sign as well.
And the nice thing about, and I'm not tooting our horn here, but, and I don't even know if the girls know this that are swimming today, after the event is over, they can, when they get on the bus or get in the car or whatever, they can go on their devices and they can watch the swim meet over and over and over again.
Well, Brett and I are going to do that too.
Actually, I thought you were going to jump in the pool.
Yeah, feeling a little bit muggy. I might need to do that. Here we go, getting ready for some of the team cheers.
Sounds like Redwood's getting all excited here and getting stuff. Coach Katie is starting to rev her team up. We're just about ready to start with the event in a second. But first, before we do that, we want to go ahead and thank some of our sponsors that make this possible. The Burns Agency, of course, in Dayville in Norwich. Thank you very much. Kelly's Pace in Mystic. Kelly's Pace. Thank you very much. Game On. Thank you for hooking us up. NFP Sports. Gee, who are they? We know who they are. The Connecticut Sun sponsoring the event today. Thanks for sponsoring these kids and getting ready. Vacatura's Bakery. Who else we have? Domino's Pizza, and of course Buffalo Wild Wings. So we have more, of course, that we will sponsors that we'll get into in a little bit. But it looks like we are getting ready to start the very first event.
Yep, and as we get ready for this first event, it looks like we're going to have on the this event 200-yard medley relay. Looks like we're going to have an exhibition in lane 1, which is going to be Fitch. And then lanes 2, 4, and 6 will be the official entries for the Fitch High School team, the Fitch Co-op. And lanes 2 and 4 look like they're going to be for our Ledyard Co-op.
All right, here we go with the very first ECC Game of the Week. Let's get started.
And Gary Butters puts him into the pool. Backstroke, breaststroke, butterfly free. The order of the events.
And as we watch some of these turns, we see the backstrokes approaching the turns for the first time. You might be able to see from your screens or on your devices, there are some orange cones on the pool deck. The backstrokers are not going to be allowed to pass that cone when they push off. That's called your 15-meter mark. As we get ready for an exchange here into the breaststroke, you got the Fitch team in lane 2.
So the swimmers are required to wait until the swimmer in the pool touches the wall before they can leave the block. They can move before, but their toe can't leave that edge of that block until the some part of the swimmer in the water touches the wall. And the Fitch swimmers in 2 and 4 look to be putting a pretty sizable lead on the field. Ledyard group in lane 3.
And you can see your officials lining up here, making sure when you finish on the breaststroke, you want to make sure you finish with both hands at the wall together.
So you can't just touch it once. You have to hit both hands.
Okay. On that particular stroke in butterfly, it's one. It's got to be double touch, both hands. So they're watching closely on that to make sure it's safe and legal exchanges. You know, you kind of equate it onto the track, maybe on the baton, if the baton gets dropped. Lane 2 is in the lead coming in, and now on to our final leg, a freestyle. And as the Fitch coach, Coach Allie had mentioned, you can see how she kind of split her relays. And, you mix up your athletes, giving everybody a chance to swim. That's a good thing. I think to see everybody out there, you never want to see empty lanes.
So I'm sure glad that you guys are here because, you guys are both going to be the ones that pick the player of the game.
That sounds like pressure, Mike. I don't know. I'm used to having a roster. Brett's got that roster over there. He's hogging.
Hey, I'm buying cheeseburgers, okay? All right. But I don't want to jump in. I'll get a cramp. So
we do have a raised hand on the part of one of the officials. What that means is there'll be a review of some sort of rule violation. Those officials will confer, and we'll have to see what went down. It may well have been an exchange. Looked like at least one of the exchanges was questionable. We're not going to run any video replays, though. Video replay is not allowed in high school swimming. So we don't have to worry about the video review and the referees going off to a TV. They're going to go confer with each other. And so there'll be a slight break.
So they're going to talk about it a little bit.
Yeah. So what will happen right now is you'll see some of the action behind the blocks is that the relays be coming out in times will be recorded, and we'll finish up the times and making sure they finish with the official order that they have, and then award the points. And the next event coming up here today, and again, we always try to give the athletes a few moments and not just rush them through events, because in swimming and like in track and field also, is some of the athletes might do back-to-back events. So you always kind of slow things down, give everybody a chance, catch their breath. And now we're going to be ready for the 200-yard freestyle, which is going to be 8 links in the pool freestyle.
So the officials conferred, and there was no violation. Lou Falk, the referee, is going to get the next event on the blocks.
200-yard freestyle.
Which one ready to go?
So the score after that first event is going to be 12-2 for the Fitch Co-op. They took places 1 and 2. Ledyard took the 3rd spot. 8, 4, and 2, the points awarded for that event.
Now, Scott, you're talking about the points, and I think it's a great reminder to get a segue us into the individual events. For our individual events, there are 6 swimmers in the pool, and it's going to be awarded for the top 5 athletes. First place is 6 points, second place is 4, third place is 3, fourth place is 2, and fifth place is 1. So when you get into these meets and some of these close competitions, you say, I only got 5th place, but that 1 point can make a difference. You've been around swimming and diving in these types of events. That makes it, those points add up over the course of the meet.
Indeed, Brett. The interesting thing about swimming is it is a team sport in high school, not an individual sport. You can win every event, first place in every event, and still lose the meet.
How is that? How does that happen? How does that factor in?
The scoring, 6 one, if you took first and fifth, which is the worst you can do, is 7 points. The second, third, and fourth places can score 9 points. So over the course of the meet, if you win second, third, and fourth place in every event, you are going to you're going to win the meet.
Gotcha.
It's kind of it's an anomaly. Something Mike DeMauro from the day once called underwater basket weaving or something of that nature. He was quite upset about it
Scott,
in the
I
paper.
remember that was at the an ECC Girls Championship after the Fitch won every single individual event.
It was.
And they went on to finish second to the East Lyme team.
That's correct.
Yeah,
East Lyme was deeper, and they won a lot more.
Yeah.
And it was a meet where the Fitch team won every event and still did not win the meet.
I do remember that one. So as right now, we're approaching around the halfway point here for these girls. Oh, that's the finish. I apologize. I miscounted on that one. This looks like our swimmer in lane 4 finished first. Swimmer in lane 2 second. Now Ledyard co-op swimmer.
So Jylyn Wheeler looks to have won that event from Fitch.
Fourth place seems to be coming into the
She's
pool.
a senior. I think swimming all 4 years with the Falcons.
And one of the nice things you like to see in the races, everything is kind of pyramid seating, meaning that, lanes 3 and 4 are going to be your most competitive swimmers and kind of leading the way. So lane 1 is always going to be competing in lane 6. I shouldn't say always, but in most cases. And that was certainly a good finish by those swimmers in those lanes.
We'd like to ask the Ledyard girls to please stay out of the way of the camera if they could, because we can't see anything. Ledyard girls, we can't see anything.
Where do you want him to stand?
Over here. That's what we were told.
Certainly appreciate that. We might be able to give all of our home viewers and listeners on the devices something to see here. So thanks to Ledyard Co-op. Appreciate that.
So the individual medley coming up next. These are where swimmers are going to do all 4 strokes by themselves, 50 yards of each, so 2 lengths of the pool of each stroke. Butterfly, backstroke, breaststroke free, the order in this particular event, a little different than the medley relay.
Scott, this is a tough event to swim. I like watching it, though, but it is a tough event for some of these kids getting going. You start to see, where your strong strokes, where are the strokes that you need to work on. Awful lot of fun to watch.
It's 200 yards of pain. I can tell you as a longtime swimmer from many, many, many years ago, again, we're not going to say how many, I can tell you that 50 yards of butterfly hurts a lot, and then you have 150 more yards of swimming to do. So this is the toughest individual event in most of these swim meets.
And as you're watching this one, it looks like Coach has got a pretty good lineup. I mean, you see some pretty good competition. Nobody's really ahead more than a body length. You got a Fitch swimmer followed closely by our swimmers from the Ledyard Co-op in lanes 2 and 5, or 3 and 5.
Transitioning to backstroke, they're going to finish that butterfly with a 2-hand touch, coming into the wall, then they're going to flip directly onto their back.
Scott, I can remember swimming this race and coming off that butterfly, just getting that oxygen back in my body. Breathing on a regular basis, not holding my breath. It was always tough, but it was always something I needed to do to get through.
Yeah, the backstroke turn is a lot easier. Your face is out of the water the most part.
Hey, still pretty tight race by these top five swimmers. You still have 100 yards left to go. It's anybody's race going into the breaststroke.
The backstroke requires to finish on the back. You'll see the swimmers turn to toward their stomach, and then they'll come off the wall with their shoulders pointed downward. The breaststroke requires you stay on that. It's one of the most technically difficult strokes because it requires timing and some specific things about the stroke. Your hands have to be in the same plane. A lot of swimmers you'll see come way out of the water. Some swimmers not as much.
I thought over the summer watching the Olympics and the underwater cameras and all the different techniques the swimmers used to be able to complete this stroke, I was pretty amazed.
Yeah. An interesting note on the breaststroke. When you leave the wall on a breaststroke, you can actually do a single butterfly down kick, which is sort of an odd thing. And the reason that happened is that in some of the championships, national championships, the officials started letting that go. With the advent of cameras and everything underwater now, that is now part of the rule. They're allowed to do that. But it was an interesting missed call over the course of time that allowed that downward kick in that breaststroke.
Scott, you are a fountain of swimming knowledge. All right, we're getting ready for our end here. Looks like our swimmer in lane 2, Scott's going to be taking this race.
So that looks to be Lucy Doyle-Cusi.
And our swimmer in lane 3, I believe, is going to be our first Ledyard Co-op swimmer, earning a second place. And that is Sarah O'Donnell. Nice job, Sarah.
Thank God you know who they are. Oh, you have the rosters there, don't you?
We do.
You have the lineups.
We do.
And one of the things you might be seeing now is, everyone's moving at different abilities and different speeds. But one of the things I think swimmers do is you really see some really great sportsmanship. Nobody's going to get out of the water and abandon this competitor. They're going to stay in the water till she finishes the races. And that'll be something I'm sure that the coaches have emphasized. Hey, listen, how do you conduct yourself? How do you handle yourself during the course of the swim meet? So I'm sure that's something they were instructed. Hey, stay in there, cheer everybody on, and demonstrate the values of good sportsmanship that make us who we are.
So we have one young lady, and everybody's rooting her on.
Right now, this looks like Alana Rubing. So Alana just finishes her first 200 IM of the season. Congratulations, Alana.
And it was really nice because we were all cheering them on. You don't see that in a lot of sports.
Now, particularly the women's swimming tends to be very supportive. Although in the days of the real competitive, the one team would cheer and the other team wouldn't. But in the conference today, the level of sportsmanship is really good. A credit to people like Brett, who spent many years coaching these kids, and Brett's team's always had a high degree of sportsmanship.
I appreciate that, Scott. Thank you very much. So now we're getting ready on. This is going to the dash. Here we go. The dash into the pool. This is going to be the 50-yard freestyle. 2 lengths of the pool freestyle. This is a lot of times people's favorite event. It's they say, well, it goes by so fast. There's so much that can go wrong. You got to be careful with it. But these swimmers will be going down and back. 50 freestyle, probably limited breathing. If you're watching it closely, it might be hard to see on your screen, but maybe just a couple breaths down and a couple breaths back from some of these elite 50 high school swimmers.
How close do Scott, let me ask you. How close do these judges have to pay attention?
So
something like this.
They have to pay a lot of attention. You'll often see, in fact, in this event, it looks like the official from the far side of the pool will probably come down and help. The order of finish when you have a pool without automatic timing is a ballot system. And each of the officials will get a vote. They will record on their page who's going to win. We've seen this event with 100 or 200 or 400ths of a second separating the top 2 swimmers. You see now it looks like we have 2 Ledyard swimmers. They're gonna go 1-2 in this event.
I think this might be an exhibition.
Oh, is this an exhibition? Yes. Thank you, Brett.
Yep. But hey, listen, great job, and I'll let everybody finish up here before I intercede. But one of the things that coaches will do is we'll talk and say kind of, hey, listen, what events do you want to swim exhibition? Give everybody extra chances to swim. So today it's going to be the 50 freestyle and also the 100 back. So the first heat is going to be an exhibition. Second heat is going to be for exhibition. Is that correct, Scott?
That's unusual. Typically, the first heat in an event is the scoring heat. On a dual meet, that's the standard rule. I'm not sure.
Scott, I don't have what's it say on the Fitch one here? I couldn't read that, so I might be mistaken there. So,
it just says that there's 2 heats. It doesn't say A or B. Typically, except in championship meets where you go in the reverse order. In a dual meet, typically. And given that these lanes aren't full, my suspicion is that was the official event.
Yeah, I think so. And I apologize to those swimmers in that. I made a mistake on that.
Now, this event is?
So the same thing, 50 freestyle. Okay. So a lot of times when you put in these exhibition meets, for those people not familiar, something might be like a JV swimmer. Giving the opportunity for them to get in there, to get in the pool, to demonstrate what they can do. Hey, listen, and as a coach, it doesn't matter if it's official or unofficial. You're always tracking times, seeing how they're doing. So this is a great first baseline that coach is really building up for them.
So you see a huge difference, too, in the swimmers in the 50 free, because you'll put in some of the developmental swimmers that are brand new to the sport that are really struggling with just completing the 50 yards without doing a violation. I am thinking that Fitch put their A swimmers in that B event just to give their B swimmers an opportunity to compete. And I think Allie is challenging her swimmers on that. So
that's always a nice thing. I always the challenge and working with other coaches and trying to develop a meet lineup. Sometimes, you get to develop some pretty good friendships with the coaches, and you certainly know the teams and what they're able to do. And if you know you're going to, hey, listen, I'm going against a state runner-up, and I'm a team that's barely going to be winning a couple beats. So you try to adjust the lineups, and that doesn't happen all the time, but I think the coaches here might have talking about that and try to set some things up for their athletes to get them a good experience, that first taste of the season.
Is there a perennial powerhouse every year? I mean, even statewide,
well,
in swim.
Within the Eastern Connecticut Conference, Eastline. Since the inception of the girls swimming, Scott, 2000, the Eastline girls swimming and diving team, led under the leadership for many years of Jack Starbuck and now Rob Bucci, have never lost an ECC swimming and diving championship. So that's 23 in a row. On the state level, you got perennial powers, Greenwich. Yeah. A lot of times, you start to see those schools towards the other end of the state, Greenwich, Cheshire off there in the center of the school. Those teams right there are always Darien, Westport. Those teams are going to be, or Staples, excuse me, for Westport. But they're going to be right there into that.
So we're on a break now. We're going to have somewhere between a 10 and a 15-minute break. The pool will be open for warm-ups, so you'll see some swimmers just getting down in. Particularly some of those freestylers are going to want to get in and get some of that lactic acid out so they can get ready for the next level events in the second half of the meet.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. Thank you guys for taking over. I mean, I really appreciate it because, like I said, I don't know anything about this.
I'm here to help you, Mike.
You guys are great. I really appreciate it.
Happy doing it. And
we'll be back in a couple of minutes. Right here, it's ECC Game of the Week. It's Ledyard versus Fitch in Ledyard's home territory here at the VAT here in Ledyard, Connecticut. Be back in a minute right here on SNSN.
Dentist. In a word, yes. Especially if that dentist is Dr. Katzoff and the staff at Griswold Dental Associates. They follow all the latest safety protocols while doing what they do best, taking care of you. From preventive to restorative, your dental care couldn't be in better hands. To schedule your appointment, call Griswold Dental Associates today, 860-376-2626. That's 860-376-2626.
At Jewett City Savings Bank, we can make one choice easy, finding the right checking account. We offer a range of affordable accounts to fit your budget and needs, and each gives you the freedom to access your money the way you want, online, through our mobile app, or with your debit card. It's your money and your choice. To learn more about the account that's right for you, stop by one of our offices or visit us at jcsbank.com. Jewett City Savings Bank, member FDIC.
Better it burns. Much better. So much better it burns. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better it burns. You buy better it burns. You buy better.
School's back in session and it's time for a pop quiz. True or false? Insurance coverage is all the same and it doesn't matter where you buy it. False. True or false? The best kind of insurance is the cheapest you can find. False. True or false? Working with a local agent can help you navigate all your specific coverage needs while finding a competitive price for free. True. Don't let yourself fail when it comes to your insurance. Call, email, chat us online today. Our qualified staff can walk you through the process, find the coverage that's right for you, and the discounts you qualify for. The Burns Agency, proudly serving Eastern Connecticut since 1932.
Better it burns. Much better. So much better it burns. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better it burns. You buy better it burns. You buy better.
Has arrived. They're your local auto super center. Put some excitement in your day and rent a Polaris Slingshot from Strain Family Motors, adjacent to the Green Onion Restaurant on River Road. Check out Strain Family Motors Super Center on Facebook as well as strainfamilymotors.com for everything sales, service, and excitement. River Road, Lisbon, Strain Family Motors, your local auto super center.
All right, so we're back into that. We're in the middle of a break, about a 10-minute break or so. 37-25 is what the official score is right now in favor of Fitch.
That's right, Mike. It looks like they're going to keep it close. The Ledyard swimmers are swimming well. It does look like Allie maybe put some of her less experienced swimmers in that 53 scoring heat. You will see the coaches in this conference try to not let the score get away. You've seen a lot of that in the paper over the years where people don't want there to be just a complete beatdown. And in this conference, you'll rarely see a gap of more than 50 points. It's more likely to be 20 or 30. You may see some of the Fitch events go exhibition late in the meet, which we'll try to track down for you, but we'll try to keep the score up. And we did have one DQ in the IM. One of the swimmers got called for some kind of a stroke or touch violation. Joining us on the broadcast now is...
what do I do with it? Put it on.
Put it on, exactly. Joining us on the broadcast right now is Lou Falk, the referee at today's meet, and the head official here in southeastern Connecticut. Lou, how are you?
I'm well, Scott. How are you?
Well,
you all know each other, don't you?
Lou and I work together. I am an official in this board. I work with all of the three gentlemen that are wearing white shirts here on the deck. Lou, what's your thoughts about the meet? Pretty competitive.
It's been fun. It's nice to see two teams that have enough swimmers to fill the events and do it legally. So it's really nice. I hope it's a sign that swimming is returning to the ECC. I think it is.
As do I, Lou. Lou's been an official here for a long time. After a long career in the YMCA world where he was involved with swimming at every level for a long time. So,
Scott, I've been officiating since 55th year.
This is your 55th year?
55th year. Just starting it right now.
Wow, that's amazing.
And I'm only 49 years old.
I know. He was -6 when he started.
Exactly.
How did your parents feel about that?
They didn't like the gun, but, other than that.
Lou, you came from another part of the country, though, did you not?
I did. I came from Pennsylvania by way of Maryland.
I recall that. Lou joined the Southeastern Connecticut Officials Board maybe 15 years ago, I'm thinking. It was somewhere
about
in that respect.
15, 20, yeah.
I've been involved in this conference for in excess of 20 years. I don't really remember anymore.
Lou, thank you very much for coming on by.
My pleasure.
Congratulations. 55 years, that's amazing.
Yeah, I think it's neat.
Has anybody do anything that's 55 years? No.
No, I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah, that's amazing. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
That is amazing. Thanks
very
much, Lou. All right, we want to thank some of our sponsors who are here at SNSN as well as with the ECC. Let's see, where can we go here? How about Buffalo Wild Wings is one. Domino's, Vacatura's Bakery, established 1919. That's right around Lou's time. Sorry, Lou. The Connecticut Sun, NFP Sports, the Burns Agency in Dayville and in Norwich. K Pace or KP, or I don't even know if I have this right. In Mystic, Kelly's Pace.
Kelly's Pace.
Kelly's Pace. Tell us what Kelly's Pace is.
Kelly's Pace is a shoe shop. It's actually a competitive running store where they've been selling shoes for a long time. A guy by the name of Johnny Kelly, a winner of the Boston Marathon, I believe in 1957, was a runner who lived in Mystic, Connecticut. And Johnny and his wife built that store up. Johnny passed a number of years ago. There's a statue of Johnny and his dog in downtown Mystic. But Kelly's Pace was John's store, and I personally bought shoes from that place. It's a great shop.
Gotcha. Game on. Dink, dine, drink, play, and bowl. Sounds like a fun place.
It does.
How about Dean's Corner Diner on Main Street in Jewett City? You can find them on DoorDash as well. Rubino's Full Circle Restaurant on Route 138 also in Griswold. They are brand new. Kind of. I mean, if you want to call them Full Circle, the reason why they're called Full Circle is because their parents had a restaurant many, many years ago. My dad used to take me to Rubino's on Main Street and get the spaghetti and meatballs when I was a kid.
Amazing.
When I was a little fat kid back then. Now I'm an old fat kid. So, but they have wonderful food there at Rubino's Full Circle. That is right on Route 138. Let's see, who else do we have here? Griswold Dental. They'll make you smile. Coach K and his team. Wonderful dentists right up on Slater Avenue in Jewett City. Hey, Scott, welcome back. Brett. I don't know.
I'm moving around, yeah.
Call me Jack. I don't know.
No, but it's good to be back as we get ready for what we might say is the second half of the swim meet.
So 35-27 is the score. Fitch in the lead. We're actually going to pick players of the game. I kind of going to relieve you guys of that and put it on the coaches. Okay. So, so we do have wonderful prizes for the players of the game. We're going to do one.
One for each co-op, Mike. One for each team, rather?
Well, one for each player.
One for each player.
No. One for each co-op, correct.
Okay, yes.
The Fitch co-op and one for the Ledyard co-op. So they're going to win a T-shirt and also give themselves a tumbler.
Oh, that's great.
So, and
a tumbler?
Yeah.
Hey, that'll get some use in school on Monday.
Yeah.
Little water bottle. Perfect.
Yeah. It's actually stainless steel.
Oh, nice.
Stainless steel.
SNSN, sparing no expense.
Well, it's gonna say I was the player of the game.
Oh, I like that.
So you're also gonna get a T-shirt saying the same thing. So.
In high school sports, those kinds of awards go a long way. These student athletes, they don't get a ton of recognition. So winning something like that, win swimmer of the meet.
Yeah.
My kids all swam, and when they won things like that, they were proud of it.
Yeah, you know what? And no matter what it is, if you're getting a prize, kids love it.
Absolutely.
And it's sometimes it's not even the prize. Sometimes it's just the pat on the back. The pat on the back is very important too, more so than anything. The atta girls, the atta boys.
So one of the things that we did miss being here at the VAT, as we said earlier in the broadcast, this is a great facility. We're lucky to be here. The Ledyard Co-op's lucky to have it, but they do not have the 1 meter diving one. So
yeah, that's what Scott was saying.
Scott was, yep. So okay, you spoke about that. Yeah. So
yeah.
I did say, but yeah, so that was something that does add a little time to the meets. Getting those athletes up and moving things along. But we're going to approach now. Next couple events are going to be pretty fast and pretty furious. They're going to be 100 butterfly. Mm-hmm. So 4 lengths of the pool butterfly, and then another 4 lengths, and then now the next event will be the 100 freestyle. But it looks like the officials the starter, is getting ready to call these swimmers up to start the second half of the meet and get underway.
Make sure you follow us on all your socials at SNSN Sports on X, as well as Facebook and YouTube and Instagram, Snapchat. We're on all of them at SNSN Sports, as well as at Go ECC Athletics. But remember those, because we're going to be asking a question a little bit later, and it's going to have something to do with this particular meet. It's going to be a very easy question, but we're going to have you tweet in the answer. And if you are correct, you could win a trivia question of the week. Tumbler and t-shirt. Who gives prizes away? Nobody. We do.
Love that.
We do. And really, it's really nice that we're able to showcase more and more student athletes than ever before. You know, with our venture with the ECC and NFP Sports, we're able to do this. We have field hockey coming up. Field hockey. Tell me, these kids are also. They practice just as hard as anybody else. Soccer athletes, swim athletes, and these kids don't ever really get showcased or any kind of recognition like this. And the ECC said it was fine.
I think it's outstanding.
And we did too, so let's go.
I wonder how many of them will be forwarding links to grandparents and aunts and uncles who aren't local, who will be, hey, check out this for me. I think that's going to be a great thing.
Well, you know what's really funny is that tomorrow we're going to be doing Griswold Youth Football. And we've been doing youth football in Griswold for 4 years. This is our 4th year. And it's a riot because we get people from all over the country. All over the world, actually. All right, here we go.
100 butterfly.
Another favorite event of people who swim, the butterfly is probably the most intense cardiovascular stroke that there is. In order to be good at it, you have to propel the entire top of your body out of the water. The kick has to be a dolphin kick, and until you get a flow where you're going very fast and your kick is sort of supplemental to that going very fast. 1 swimmer, 2 swimmers out here. The swimmers in lane 4 and 3 look to have that flow, and the others are struggling just a little bit. Butterfly's the hardest stroke to go 100 yards and not have it hurt really bad.
And one of the things you can look for here as we approach down here, as the girls get ready to approach their final length from the pool to 25 butterfly, is that, how often are they breathing? Where is that cardiovascular training here at the season? At the first meet of the season, it's going to be, this is where we're at. But another couple of weeks, you always look through that improvement throughout the season.
Well, the score sheet says Layla Caramonte's in that lane. Nope, I think it's Caitlin Kump. Caitlin Kump won that event.
Last couple of swimmers coming in, and again, I noticing everyone standing and congratulating them. Always a nice part of the girls swimming season.
Pretty competitive event too, Brett. And Fitch Ledyard on the finish.
Yeah, it was a good matchup for them.
Seeing some really strong swims for this early in the season from a significant number of student athletes.
Is it? And this is the first meet of the year, correct?
It is.
Yeah. And as we get ready now, the girls exit the pool. We're going to get ready for event number 6, the 100 freestyle, 4 links to the pool freestyle.
And that's not a relay. That's just one.
Yeah, this is just one swimmer. Yes.
We'll have a relay soon after the long event.
This is usually a pretty exciting event. You get some good freestylers up there. And, if you're able to watch at home, watch the breathing patterns, notice how the distance they get off the walls. Those are the things as coaches, and I'm sure that Coach Cope and Coach Ali are looking at and see where they need to continue to work on during the practices.
100 yards, freestyle.
Whistle brings them to the blocks. A little bit of starting differential from what you saw in the Olympics. The Olympics used a little more whistle, a little less talk.
And Scott and Mike, as I look out over the crowd here, as we're approaching the halfway point, to me, it looks like we've added more people. We got a good crowd of people here today, so that's always nice as we start the opening day for the swim season.
Well, you know what it was? It's the ECC Game of the Week. Of course, they're going to be here.
Hey, they're looking for those free tumblers, T-shirts, whatever you got.
Anybody that's anybody is here.
You put it on the X.
You are getting that Chris Berman going.
It's channeling in his inner Howard Cosell.
Yeah.
Scott, it's been all those years at the Waterford High School pool. I'm not going to do any this day in history, though, so don't worry.
Oh, that's good.
Imagine Howard Cosell calling this. My God, there's it. Look, right there.
Oh, hey, listen, we got a little bit of a battle over there for third place.
Looks like the Fitch swimmer's going to pull it out.
Yeah, they did. Hey, and as we're coming through here.
That looks like it might have been Layla Karamate.
Okay.
It's funny. One thing that non-swimming comment about what's going on is the girls get very excited and they gravitate over to the pool. It's like, wait a minute, we can't see, but that's okay because they get excited. They get excited for their teammates and
Sure.
Just for the race in general.
I think one of the rules we always practice on the teams that I was involved with and that I coached was if one of you are up swimming, all of you are up swimming.
Gotcha.
You know, and I think that's something that adds a lot now. Hey, speaking of getting ready for a big race, Scott, we got a 500 freestyle coming up right now.
So this is 20 lengths of the pool. This one takes a little time. This is a Katie Ledyard kind of an event. 20 lengths of the pool. You'll see teammates of the swimmers down on the far end of the pool with number cards so that everybody knows how much they have left. Sometimes they make mistakes, though, and that doesn't end well typically.
I would think you'd have to have a lot of stamina to do this one.
Yeah, this one, Scott, I don't know what's about the equivalent of how much of a mile?
Well, it's a 5-minute run, so if you were, it's a 5-minute swim. So if you were a runner in a track meet, that's a mile.
This one, in high school swimming, this will be the 500 is the longest event. As you get up into colleges and the Olympic and international competitions, you might see 1,000 or you might see a 1650, which is a full mile.
Here we go.
It looks like we got a full field of 6 swimmers.
I would think there'd be a lot of energy conservation.
Yeah,
So this is an event where preservation of your energy is key, and you don't want to go out too fast. Oftentimes early in the season, you'll see swimmers go out too fast, and they run out of gas because they don't have the conditioning depth that they'll have later in the season. It's nice to see a couple of swimmers right out of the gates, one from Fitch, one from Ledyard.
holding a good tempo.
Yep, marking each other and holding a good tempo.
And as you look across your screen, you see your swimmers there right in the middle of the pool. Got some swimmers on the ends of the pool. So, hey, listen, this is shaping up. It's so early in the race. It's still a lot to be swum, but there's a potential for a really exciting race.
So Ashley Dunn's out in front, but only by about a half a body length. And the Ledyard swimmer in 3. Brett, you got the roster there.
Looks like, hey, we have a Sarah O'Donnell again.
All right.
Sarah, who finished second place earlier in today's meet.
So the coaches are putting a critical eye on all of the swims today, naming the swimmer of the meet down the road. Look forward to that. Perhaps maybe, Mike, you're going to do some interviews for that.
Perhaps.
And as you know, as a coach watching this event, you know, one of the things you do is, you know, you're watching splits. How long does it take them to do a 50 or however a coach, maybe 100, however you want to break that down, and trying to hold those consistent times. When you get towards the end of the season, you get toward, you know, the state open that's held down at Yale University, which is a great place. Oh, we talked about our swimmers get that fifth number flip. There we go, lane one. But you talked about that, and, you know, they hold pretty fast, consistent times. Sometimes we think it's always just about survival, but, you know, when you really get into swimming this event, as you get more competitive, and it's about trying to sprint the whole way. And it gets tough to do, but, you know, you can do it.
20 lengths of the pool.
20 lengths of the pool. Takes around 5 minutes for the fastest high school swimmers to do this event. It's a distance event, and it hurts.
I'm hurting just watching.
Yeah. But, you know, Scott, one of the things I like coaching about the 500 and watching it is, you know, when you get to those certain levels, you know, the strategy that's involved with it. When do you take it out? When do you hold back? When do you build up? And when do you bring it home? And, you know, what kind of a pace, what kind of a tempo do you want to be on? There's an awful lot that as these coaches develop into the season with their swimmers that they're going to be working on breaking down this event and just kind of, hey, just get in there and go. Let's kind of think about how we're going to approach it to get those points that we're going to need to win those swimmers.
And that's a great point, Brett. Again, swimming, the team sport, that 4th, 5th, and 6th place swimmer, that can be several point swings in a meet. And that's what drives the final score. If you get a close swim meet, it's those 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th swimmers that really make the difference.
So some of our swimmers have approached the halfway point here. Looks like our swimmers in lane 3 and 4 approaching for length number 11. So in a couple more, well, not in just a couple more, about 7 or 8 more, they'll be moving those cards and putting it on all orange so we can see, give those notifications to those swimmers. Hey, listen, you're on your last length there. But also when you get into some of the ECCs and your state competitions, one of the things you'll work on is where can you build those times? Where can you drop those times? Is it something on your turns, holding that streamline a little bit longer? Those are all aspects that these girls have probably been, I'm sure I've been introduced to because I know their coaches and will continue to work on.
All right. So we have a couple of swimmers that are have gone 13 lengths. 1, 2, 3.
I think it's our swimmers in the middle, Mike.
A couple of, I think. Okay, yeah. One's a Fitch.
4. Yep.
Actually,
the lead Fitch swimmer has just lapped her teammates and pretty much everyone except the swimmer in 3.
I feel bad for these kids because it's like we got to keep telling them to move on, just because of the fact that we're
right there, right on the deck,
and they want to root on their teammates. So.
You love the enthusiasm, but I'm sure they'll be happy when they go home to watch this meet tonight.
Yeah,
they'll be able to see themselves.
Or if they go home to watch it and they can't watch it because they've been standing in front of the camera.
Lesson learned for future ECCs games of the week.
My God, what happened? Oh, it was me. It was me. So we got a couple of young ladies already up to 17 lengths.
So that lead swimmer is going to get a bell when she comes into 4. Just like in a track meet, the final lap, they'll get a bell.
Okay.
As they pass under the flags, from the flags to the wall, ascending.
Scott, I think I like the bell much better than the air horn in those tight environments. The bell always seems to work a lot nicer.
Yeah, the air horn was always very uncivilized. We used them for years. Yeah. Back in the day, they used starter pistols, though, Brett.
Did they used to starter pistols? That's off.
Yep, they used to use
red is final lap, right?
Yes, red's on the final lap.
So there's only 1 lap to go for
lane 4 coming in for a final finish here. She'll touch here, and it looks like she's going to take a victory here for the 500 freestyle.
And then that swimmer in 3 will be getting second. And that swimmer in 5 now still with 100 yards to go. So she's still got 4 lengths.
I was winded after 2 laps.
All right. And it looks like Sarah takes her second place finish of today's meet. I don't recall, I'll have to double check, but I think she also took second in the 200 IM. So we got our 4 swimmers, and just to piggyback on what we talked about earlier, and one of the things that I was always very proud of within the ECC is the levels of sportsmanship. And these girls are going to finish a couple minutes ahead of their competitors, and they're going to stay right there, and they're going to cheer on their friends, and they're going to stay there in the pool. And again, I think that's an illustration of their coaches in the conference of what's going to be, where the bar has been established for them. Something with sportsmanship you can control, and so that's always nice to see.
So it looks like a freshman named by Allie, the Fitch coach, as one of the top newcomers, won that event. Gabby Gonarumo, I think is how we're going to say her name. She won that event and listed in the team profile this year as one of the top incoming freshmen.
And I think that's one of the
things. She won the race.
She won the race.
That Fitch co-op does have some, they're a great team, a solid team. It'll be interesting to see how they compete. I believe she said they're competing against Cheshire and for this season. But where are they going to finish up? Some of these individual swimmers, if they're vying for all state honors. Those are going to be some big races for them coming up in a couple months.
And who do we have in? Is it lane 5?
Lane 5, we have coming
Coming
in here. We have Jules Erickson finishing up here.
Yep.
She got about 3 or 4 more yards to go, and she'll finish up her first 500 during the meet season. And in lane 1 for the Ledyard Co-op coming in, Sunny Duda. So come on in here, Sunny. Finish this up. Look, always faster than me. They find that a little extra speed when they finish. You
Yep.
kind of head down, right into the wall. Nice job, Sunny.
That's an amazing race right there.
Yeah.
Just the amount of just the stamina you got to have.
For that, yeah.
You get a lot of cramps in that event, or
I'm sure some people do.
Yeah.
It's like anything. You got to take care of your body. You got to take care of your health to make sure you can get through some of these events.
Yep.
Especially in a meet like today when things go by so fast, Mike. These girls are competing, many of them 3 or 4 times, at a high level for them in an hour.
And they'll swim 6, 7, 8, 10,000 yards in a practice these days. A little earlier in the season, not so many, but these athletes will spend an hour to an hour and a half in the pool, at least 5, and most weeks 6 days a week. They don't typically have practice on days of meets, but a lot of times they might do warm-ups in advance of the meet. So they'll go get into a pool and do some warm-ups. We've got the 200 freestyle relay, very fast event.
Yeah, this is an exciting event. This is our second of the 3 relays. Each swimmer will be swimming 50 yards of freestyle. It looks like our lane 1 is going to be empty, so we have 5 teams competing here.
so. Right after this, right here, we're going to give us the trivia question of the day.
And one of the things about the 200, I'm really impressed with the numbers on both squads, and I think that's going to help both teams out tremendously during the course of the season. But sometimes, if your numbers are a little down, sometimes you have your athletes swimming back-to-back events. It has happened, and I'm sure it will continue to happen, that you have swimmers coming out of that 500 freestyle that might have to jump up and be a part of this relay. You try to, as a coach, give them space and maybe put them at the last spot, but these swimmers go back-to-back events sometimes. I think that's a testament to the dedication to the sport.
And it looks like Allie might have split her team. We got Ledyard out in the lead by a significant margin as the second swimmer completes their first 25 yards.
So you think we should go out there and just give the trivia question?
Yeah, hey, let's go.
All right.
No time like the present, Mike.
All right, so here's the trivia question, and we want you to go ahead with the answer and on X and tweet it to at SNSN Sports and at Go ECC Athletics. Either one. So here's the question. You ready?
I'm ready, Mike.
How many total medals was won by Michael Phelps? How many total medals? Now, he won 23 gold, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
But how many total medals did Michael? We don't want you to answer it.
No, I think I got it. I'm going to keep it to myself.
All
I
right.
think I got an answer, and I'm going to anxious to see who's got it.
Scott got it.
Scott got it?
No.
Scott cheated.
No, I did not.
Scott, hey, listen, I know you can't see him, but he's on his phone right now. And he's looking at all this. No, he wrote it down.
Look. He's an official. If anybody's going to know how to cheat, it's going to be him.
That's for sure.
Well, let's not go there now. I'll tell you what, Mike, it was a wild you-know-what guess. So Michael Phelps didn't lose very many events.
Right.
And that's really the caveat. You gave me the number of golds. I said,
Yeah.
So, because he didn't
23
lose,
gold.
He did not lose very many events that he was like Mark Spitz back in the 70s. Every time he jumped in the pool, he got a gold medal. And
hey, and Scott, not to jump in here, but just to give, I want to make a little shout out here. That Ledyard Co-op team there in lane 3, that's their first victory for the first victory in a race here today. So nice job for the Ledyard Co-op.
Well, that's not true. They also won the 50 freestyle.
Oh, the 50 freestyle.
That's right. They went
I
1-2 in the 50 free. So this meet is actually a lot closer than we might have suspected from the number of stuff. So we'll get you a score update in just a minute.
Yeah, way to go, Brett.
Yeah, all right, that's it. I'm going to
Way to go, Coach.
But it was an exciting relay, and there was a thing. Hey, listen, when you get ready and as you build your season, you always try to build those relays because you're guaranteed 3 relays at the state competitions.
Yeah.
And so you can put those relays in. 3 relays per each, or 1 relay per each event. And so you like to see that. And as we get ready right now, we're going to be going into Scott, which was, I believe, your son, and it was also one of my favorite events, 100 backstroke.
He was actually in that last event. He went to state opens in the 100 or the 200 freestyle relay. He and 3 of his teammates went down to Yale and did pretty well.
All right, here you go. Backstrokers are in the water for a start of event number 9.
And out of total, how many events?
12.
So we're
11 here because of the diving.
Right.
11. So we're winding
2 more
down.
after this.
2 more. Yeah, 2 more. Hey, listen, as I mentioned earlier in that backstroke, so as you watch these swimmers come through, you probably won't see any of them approaching that 15-meter cone there in the pool. But, pay attention to the turns and how far they're coming off. This one here in lane 4, look at lane 4 looked really good. Those Fitch girls were coming off the walls really good. And you see the flags here. The flags are used there for them to be aware of how many strokes it takes for them to get to the turn. You don't want anybody running into the wall full speed.
So again, if you know the trivia question and the answer, tweet it on X to @SNSN Sports, @SNSN Sports, or actually both, go ECC Athletics. How many total medals did Michael Phelps win in the Olympics?
Mike, any responses so far? Are you able to see that?
Yeah, I'm not talking now.
Oh, okay.
So he's not going to give any of that up. I gave you a little hint there. That's the best you get.
All right, there we go.
Most of his finishes were gold.
All right.
Looks like the Falcon co-op's going 1, 2, 3 in the backstroke. A lot of points being scored. Right before that event, the score was 76-48 in favor of the Falcons. What we don't know is if Allie has got anybody in exhibition at this point in time. So we'll try to pay attention to that score for you.
Now, exhibition, what does that mean?
Exhibition would be it's a non-scoring heat for these swimmers. And Scott had said earlier, I made that mistake. Usually it's going to be that second heat of an event. And I think we have an exhibition heat coming up here in the 100 backstroke. So it's giving opportunities for swimmers to, hey, listen, let's get in the backstroke, see what you can do, and not have a ton of pressure as far as points.
It's experience.
Yes.
It's to give them experience. It's an official time. It counts in terms of seeding for future events, for qualifications, for championship meets. The other thing you'll see is that when the meets start to get a little far apart from a score perspective, the team that's leading will often go exhibition 1 or 2 of their swimmers, maybe only swim 1 of their swimmers. Maybe they'll give 1 of their freshmen an opportunity to try to score. And get their name in the paper for a finish. That just depends on where the coaches are in terms of how the score looks for the meet. They do want to win. It is a varsity sport. They do come out to compete, and these women are all very competitive. But the coaches are pretty good at keeping it reasonable.
Yeah, you don't want to run up a score. No. I don't think in any sport. I never like to see that when you watch that. But you don't want to run up a score. So as a coach, you're always aware of where the score stands. You don't want to have a score of 160 to 42.
Right.
That doesn't do you. It doesn't
do the sport any good.
No, it doesn't. Doesn't do the sport any good. So you talk to the coaches, and again, you develop some relationships with these coaches, and you can talk. Hey, honestly, where are we at here? What do we need to do? And and as Scott said, you don't want to lose any because it's a varsity competition. There's no JV or freshman. We're not about in that regard, but you want to try to win the meet. And Scott, 92 points.
92 if there's diving.
Yeah.
So if there's no diving, and if all of the events don't have at least 5 swimmers in them, then the finishing score will be less than.
So we certainly hope you are enjoying the very first ECC game of the week right here on SNSN. We're going to go ahead and have the players of the game after the meet. We're actually going to have 2, one from the Fitch Co-op and one from the Ledyard Co-op. So we're going to actually have 2 young ladies get honored here and get some prizes and get some recognition as well. And also, if you want to win yourself a prize, if you want to get yourself a t-shirt, just go and tell us how many medals did
Michael Phelps.
I almost said Mark Smith. Oh my God, Michael Phelps. How many did he win?
Mike, I threw that into your thought process, and your brain went back in history.
I remember that too.
So I was a high school swimmer in the 70s.
Really?
Really.
See, I wouldn't.
I was a pretty fast freestyler, and my most vivid memory is when I false started in a relay.
See, I would have thought that we were all pretty much close in age.
Well, they actually timed Scott with the sun, right? It's going around the calendar.
I have a grandson and a granddaughter. Another one on the way.
I have one granddaughter, a grandson, and another grandson on the way. And in fact, that's what I was doing this morning. I was watching my grandson, Benny.
How old is he?
He's 2.
Oh, that's a fun age. I have a 2-year-old grandson.
He's a blast.
He's a blast. Mine is all boy, and he likes to bang his head on things.
Oh boy, good stuff.
It's funny because Benny, he just started learning how to say grandpa.
Oh,
and now it's old hat. I said, you know who I am? He goes, shrugged his shoulders, goes, grandpa. Just like that.
And so you are grandpa.
Yes, sir.
I am Poppy.
Poppy?
Poppy, that's what they call you.
You know what? So was my dad.
Really?
Yes. So was my dad.
And we got one more Ledyard swimmer.
So you should do some football with me. We'll start talking sports movies and stuff. We do a little bit of everything.
I love a good sports movie trivia. Movie lines from movies in the 70s. Always with the negative waves, Moriarty.
What about yacht rock? You into yacht rock?
My brother's into yacht rock. I spent some time this summer listening to yacht rock with my brother.
Yep.
Had no idea what it was.
I love it.
I do too. I do too. Fred, are you into yacht rock?
No, sir.
Come on.
No, I don't know too much about it.
It's
really all 70s bearded men that will tell you that they love you.
It's Jimmy Buffett et al. Yada yada yada.
Michael McDonald.
Michael McDonald.
You'll hear "You're the Only One" by Orleans 7 times a day.
Yes, you will. Yes, you will. And Come Sail Away, even I think probably.
Yeah.
Little Styx. Heard that premiered by Styx.
Styx was the loudest band I've ever seen in concert.
I lost hearing Styx.
Unbelievable. Who knew? I mean, I've seen like Godsmack before, and
all right, we're getting ready for this is our last
the breaststroke.
Yeah, this is our last individual event today. This is the 100-yard breaststroke.
Did we just get yelled at?
I think
so.
Mike, I think we did. That's okay.
We were counseled to be quiet for the start. I've known to hold up a whistle.
Yeah.
So this is the only event where that 15-meter violation, those little orange cones you see, this is the only event where the 15-meter violation does not apply. You must come to the surface after the second arm pull. You're not allowed to do anything more than a second arm pull. You'll see them pull off the wall. You'll see them do a one long arm pull underwater.
And this is one of those events. With swimming in general, but there's so much technical stuff going on underneath the water right now. The timing you're looking at,
and that's what the ref is looking at right now, right? The official.
Well, yeah, what Mr. Falk is looking at is a 2-hand touch. They want to make sure that when you approach the wall on this, it's always going to be a 2-hand touch. So he's taking a peek at that. He might be looking at kick patterns, making sure the kick's legal.
So the kick legality is an issue on this stroke. It has to be the right style of kick. You have to achieve propulsion from the bottom of your feet. The 2-hand touch is designed to keep the event fair. A 1-hand touch would make your turn faster. So it's a point of contention. As kids come up through the developmental programs, it's one of the first things they'll fail when they get into a high school meet because people are looking at it a little more closely.
Yeah.
So we're finishing up here with event number for today, event number 10, which is our 100 breaststroke. And in just a few minutes, we're going to get ready, Mike, for our final relay today, our final event. And that's going to be the 400-yard freestyle relay.
We call it the race of the big dogs.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's the main event.
It can be.
Can be. You love to see meets where it's close enough that the outcome of that relay
decides
the meet. Those are the best meets.
That's a pretty good environment right there, Mike. That you get down there. Hey, you need to get first. You need to get second, third, first, and second.
Yeah.
And as Scott had said, you get your big dogs up there. You want the people who can be able to. Hey, who's going to get through this water the fastest, and who's going to get to the wall the quickest? Because it's going to come down to whether you win or lose. So here we go.
Not today.
I'm sorry, not today. But that's kind of the philosophy behind the event, the 400 freestyle relay.
So one more event here in the ECC Game of the Week.
I think it's been a good first meet today, Mike.
I think so.
As we approach this first final event.
I think so. This has been, this has been really fun. Like I said, this is the very first swim meet that we've ever done here on SNSN. And,
happy to be a part of it.
I'm glad that you guys
Also,
are a part of it, because I would have been fumbling right through. I would have been saying jumping off instead of diving or
cannonball.
Your cannonball, yeah. I would have missed the pool altogether. But I'm very thankful for you gentlemen for being here today, and just to be surrounded with such an incredible amount of experience.
Little movement on the blocks on 2.
Now, what does that mean?
So swimmers are required to stop moving before an event. And for some reason, she just kept rocking in lane 2. I did not see the official mark his pad. I don't think he called it, but there was movement.
So this is 20 laps, altogether?
It's 8 total. So it's
8 total.
Let's see. No, it's 400. So no, it's 16 total. I can't even count anymore. Each swimmer will do 4 laps. So down and back, and then they'll change. And 4 swimmers total.
So Scott, let me ask you a question. I'm Brett. Let me ask you a question. What are the coaches doing right now? I mean, what are they saying to the swimmers? And can the swimmers even hear them?
I think, as a former swimmer, we could always hear our coaches, and you kind of, whether it was the yelling or the whistle that you needed to hear. But as a coach, one of the things I'm watching right now is I'm trying to get times on everybody. I want to see where everybody is at this point. I know it's the first meet of the season. Hey, where are we at? So I'm looking at that. And the other thing I'm also looking at is some what we call our relay exchanges. How does the swimmer in the water? How much time does it take for the person on the block to get back into the water?
Okay.
And those are things that you always are going to be approaching. You see some girls stepping up and kind of getting into the water in a nice streamline. Those are things that you're looking for.
And as an official, what are you looking for?
So in an event like this, I'm watching exchanges. The exchange on lane 5 was, in my opinion, illegal, but the referee did not mark his pad, so it won't get called.
Now, would that be because maybe a little leeway because it's the first meet of the year, or
no? They don't do that. But why he probably didn't call it is that he didn't feel he had a good enough vantage point to see her touch. He is 5 lanes away, so the official over the top of the lane looked like he marked it. Lou will always give the benefit of this doubt to the swimmer, and he could not see her hand underwater and didn't feel that, so he didn't mark pad. So it's unlikely that will be called. And I'm not wearing a white shirt today, so I don't count.
But also a lot, I said it earlier, but just again, a lot of credit to these girls because they're competing for the first time this season. The maximum they can swim in is 4 events, but all within an hour. And I'm not sure of the time, but I think we're probably right around that time realm.
A little more,
an hour and 10.
But they're out there competing and doing the best they can.
And these exchanges are very nerve-wracking for these athletes. It's easy to screw it up. You're ready to go. Are they coming in? Have they touched? You don't want to be standing still when their hand hits the wall, but you don't want to be gone from the block when their hand hits the wall. The best exchanges are in the 10th of a second range, and those are, to a lot of people, those will look like they're illegal.
Yeah.
When you've been doing it a long time, you can really see where it is or where it isn't. But the officials also are going to look at the toes first, and then they're going to watch the hand. So it's probable that even the closest ones don't get called. There are electronic platforms used in some levels of swimming. They don't use those for the most part in high school swimming.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the teams in this conference had them in the past, but typically those are not used at this level. You'll also see there's no automatic timing in this pool. There's no touch pads. So there are people behind the blocks with watches. And it looks like there's enough timers back there to get official scores. You need 2 manual watches on a lane to get a score or to get an official time. But you don't need official times to score a high school swim meet. The officials can determine the order of finish, and the score is based on the order of finish. The times are not relevant. When you're running watches like this, the officials will typically not look at them to decide who finishes. They will use their experience.
We got a good finish here coming down here for first place, coming in 3 and 4. See if the Fitch co-op can hold on to win this final relay, but there's some heats.
There's Katie urging her swimmer on.
Oh, she was catching maybe another 5 or 10 yards. She might have had her.
That
Oh,
was
that's
close.
Sarah O'Donnell over there in lane 3. Good swimming, Sarah.
Only three relay score in a high school dual meet. 8, 4, and 2. And from a rules perspective, in about 5 seconds, she's going to touch the wall. And this meet is officially over.
Yeah.
And you will now see the referee turn away from the pool, and he no longer
he just
cares
did.
what happens.
Which is exactly what Lou just did.
Yep. He turned away. He no longer cares what happens. If somebody jumped in the pool, he wouldn't. Once the final swimmer is done, the pool passes back to the coaches and the lifeguard for the based on the rules and who's in charge. He's not in charge anymore. Now he just gets to look at the score and make sure the score is done right. We'll get that score for you, and we'll get to the swimmers of the meet, I think, coming up.
That's it. Let's see. I'm going to try to set something up here. I guess that's what they're figuring out right now, correct?
Yeah, they're looking at the final tallies, making sure that they didn't have any disqualifications in the final event. They'll also take into account if there were any exhibition swims. Oftentimes that late in the meet, if it's a lopsided score, you'll have swimmers that are swimming that are competitive, but their scores don't count. Their coach has to declare them as an exhibition swimmer at the beginning of the event.
Got it. All right, we'll be back in just a minute right here. It's ECC Game of the Week. It's Fitch versus Ledyard right here on SNSN. We'll be back with the finals and the players of the game in a minute on SNSN.
Why are we getting killed like this?
Kyle's not here. Got caught drinking beer in the park a couple of nights ago.
Really?
Yeah, 0 tolerance. He's out for the season.
Harsh.
Hey, he knew not to drink. We've made that clear to all of our kids, right?
No, not really.
Bill, if we don't tell them what we expect and why they shouldn't drink, how are they going to know?
Talk. They hear you. For more information, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
And
She was in the
Better it burns. Much better. So much better it burns. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better it burns. You buy better it burns. You buy better.
School's back in session and it's time for a pop quiz. True or false? Insurance coverage is all the same and it doesn't matter where you buy it. False. True or false? The best kind of insurance is the cheapest you can find. False. True or false? Working with a local agent can help you navigate all your specific coverage needs while finding a competitive price for free. True. Don't let yourself fail when it comes to your insurance. Call, email, chat us online today. Our qualified staff can walk you through the process, find the coverage that's right for you, and the discounts you qualify for. The Burns Agency, proudly serving Eastern Connecticut since 1932.
Better it burns. Much better. So much better it burns. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better it burns. You buy better it burns. You buy better.
Just saying.
Allie?
Just saying.
Who's your swimmer of the meet?
okay, we are just about ready to go ahead and talk about our final score. It was actually Fitch coming out on top today, 89-72, as far as that is concerned. And we're going to let the teams do their cheer, and then we're going to go ahead and announce the players of the game. We already have the player of the game for Ledyard. We're just going to wait till they do their cheer. It's going to get loud, and that's okay. Let's go.
Perfect. Okay. And we're going to interview her shortly. So
Okay. I'll tell her.
Fishy, fishy in the pool. Who do we think is really cool? Go fish! Go fish! Go Ledyard! 1, 2, 3, thank you, official!
89-72 is your final today. Ledyard over Fitch. And like I said, we have a couple of players of the game that we're going to go ahead and talk to in a couple of minutes. I think we're going to get the Ledyard player of the game first, which is AK. Okay, so we're just waiting 1 second here. Oh, they're slapping hands here. So, Scott, what do you think?
It was a good meet. It was a good meet. Both teams had a lot of enthusiasm. We saw some great swims. The coaches, I think, are really pleased with how their swimmers performed this afternoon. And for the first meet of the season, to see the pool full, the lanes full, and to see such competitive swims by a lot of these young athletes, very encouraging. As Brett said earlier, great to see the sport improving. It was very positive.
All right, so I think they've dispersed. We are looking for they doing a lap? Is that what's happening here? Or?
No, I think the Ledyard girls are coming back over this way. And
Who's Ledyard? Is it?
That's Ledyard is Anna Kate O'Donnell.
Yeah. And Fitch?
Fitch will be Caitlin Kumpf.
Caitlin, we're looking for Caitlin from Fitch. Caitlin.
She's over there. We got the Ledyard.
What about AK? We have 8. We need AK.
AK, come on over here.
Are you AK? Yeah. I'm going to put you on the headset for a minute if you don't mind. Okay. All right. No, it's not okay. It's AK. Hold on, Mike. You want to? AK, how are you?
Good.
The raspberry coming in. You happen to be our player of the game.
Oh, wow.
So give her a round of applause. So why don't you go ahead, sir?
Anna Kate, you swam the IM, the fly, and the free relays today.
I swam the 200 free, 400 free relays.
Yeah. The IM, how'd you do?
Pretty good. Yeah, my times weren't as fast as they could have been, but it was a good first meet.
First meet. How do you feel about the team?
Really great. Last year we only had like 11 girls, so to have like 18, 19, it's awesome to be growing this much.
That seems to be the thought.
The thought.
From a lot of people
absolutely.
that the teams are growing.
It's great to see this many of you out here today. Any thoughts for your team? Anything you got to say to them?
I'm so proud of you guys. It's awesome that we've come this far. I mean, my freshman year on St. Bernard, we didn't even have a team. So to be with Ledyard and this family, it's really amazing.
Awesome. AK, thank you so much. Congratulations.
We
got prizes for you.
Just so you know, you are the very, very first ECC Player of the Week.
Really?
Athlete of the Week. So congratulations.
That's an honor.
Okay. So we need to have you give your coach, tell you what your T-shirt size is.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right. So let's give her a round of applause.
Thanks, AK.
Now who are we looking for?
We're looking for Caitlin. And
Caitlin.
There's Caitlin.
Hi, Caitlin. How
Let's
are you?
get Caitlin on a headset.
Here, let's get you ready. All right.
Caitlin.
Brett, you want to come in?
What do you think?
She's like, what am I here for? No, you're good. Okay, go ahead.
What do you think? 100
Caitlin,
back, 100 fly.
You are the player of the game for your team, as a matter of fact. So let's give her a round of applause. And also, another first player of the game from the ECC. So that's awesome. That's awesome. Congratulations.
How do you feel about those swims today? I hear you got a state cut.
Yeah, I'm really excited about the state cut.
So what that means is you get to go to the state meet, state championships.
Yes.
That'll be in a couple of months, but a first meet, that's awesome. What do you guys think about that?
They think it's great.
So you also were in the 100 fly. You let some of your teammates, the 100 back. That's where you got this cut. You were in the B relay or the B side of that, but you still got that state cut. You were also in the IM. You did well in that. Or 100 fly. My notes are bad. 100 fly. Felt pretty good about that. What do you got to say to your teams about today?
Oh, well, I'm really proud of everyone, especially of the new freshmen that came out and tried something new today. And yeah,
So-
I think that our team's going to go really far this year. So I'm
You guys did
excited.
well. You won meet today.
Thank you very much, young lady. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you.
We'll get your shirt size from the respective coaches, and you're also going to get a tumbler too with a straw, and it's going to have your name on it and all that stuff. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, you got to do something for the first, right?
Congratulations,
That's what I'm
Caitlin.
saying. All right, let's bring. Oh, we're going to get a picture of both players of the game. Here, hold on a minute. I got to do the same thing here.
There you go.
Are you guys on X by any chance? What's X? Okay. Facebook.
Formerly the website
Twitter.
formerly known as Twitter.
Oh, okay. All right. I was going to say, send it to us. Nobody's listening. Okay. Anyway, that's it. That's going to do it. Thank you very much, sir, for coming on in.
Thanks, Mike. Enjoyed it.
Where's Mr.
Brett.
Mr. Arnold?
He's right over here.
Mr. Arnold.
Brett.
There you go, sir. So I just want to say thank you very much to you, Brett and Scott. Thank you very much for coming on in and being a part of this. And this is the very first game of the week here, with ECC on SNSN, and we really appreciate it. I could, and I'm not being cliche when I say I couldn't have done it without you, and I couldn't have done it without you. So, and just to listen to, both you and what you guys knew about this sport, and you were so fluent, like you guys have been doing this for years. So
we have Brett and I have been friends for probably 20 years.
but I mean on the head.
Yeah, but it was a little banter. That's good. We've been
Yeah.
talking about the sport for a long time, so we're happy to do it.
Yeah.
happy to do it. We're really glad the ECC said let's do it for swimming.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Couldn't be any happier, any prouder to be able the first broadcast with you, Mike, for the ECC girls swimming, and I certainly appreciate it. And congratulations to everybody and all the volunteers here and everybody, the spectators, the girls, the coaches. It was a super job up here tonight.
So just so they know, I don't know if you all know, girls, but you can go on our YouTube page, SNSN. You can watch the meet all over again. All right, so you can check that out, guys. Thank you very much.
Thanks again, Mike.
One
Pleasure.
more time.
Thanks
One more
again, Mike.
time.
Thank you again.
Okay, now you got to help. Now you just got to break everything down, put it in my car.
Okay, we got it.
We got it.
For Ken behind the camera, I'm Mike
Thanks,
from
Ken.
SNSN.
All right.
Thank you very much
Good
to the
evening, everybody.
ECC.
Good night.
Have a good one.
Good night, all. Thanks, Mike. That was fun.